When I first saw the Night Rain trailer as a longtime FromSoft fan, I was very excited.
You lying Miyazaki! You said you were finished!
And when a lot of people saw the trailer, they reacted differently.
I'm gonna be honest, sports fans. I'll play some clips from the stream where you can see the realization wash over me that this might not actually be good.
Which really messed with me. But come on, if you're on the same side of Moist Critical, I mean, this guy's opinion, he always has the worst takes. So here's why I think the fan base is overreacting a little, and this Fortnite Elden Ring Genshin is actually a really good thing. I mean, I do understand a lot of the skepticism because this is like completely opposite of a lot of reasons why people would play a FromSoft game, but I gotta remind people that this is a spin-off. This isn't directed by Miyazaki. This is not like the definitive direction they're gonna go in. It's just a sidetrack experimental video game based on multiplayer. I mean, let's be real, FromSoft really needs to work on their multiplayer. Has their multiplayer not been the worst thing? I do feel bad for the PvP bros because there's no PvP in this yet, but I mean, come on, it could come down the road, and I feel like it would be too much for them to focus on. You know how terrible their multiplayer is, so for them to juggle seamless co-op mixed with, you know, invaders, it's probably a little too much for them to chew at one time. So don't rule it out that they might add some PvP elements into this later down the road. I wouldn't put it past them. Guys, why do people have no faith in FromSoft? Especially like FromSoft fans have like the least faith in FromSoft. It doesn't make sense to me. All them damn games they made, all these damn games we done played and had fun, like Dark Souls 2 was the only flop, bro. Come on, let's have some faith. This is the exact same thing that happened with Armored Core 6, and look how that game turned out. The last time these guys followed modern trends, they took Breath of the Wild and they made Elden Ring. So I don't know about you guys, I'm looking forward to this. I'm optimistic, that's all I'm saying. Maybe before I go a little further, I should explain exactly what we know about this game. To sum it up, basically what it looks like is it's like a roguelike multiplayer game which takes some battle royale-ish elements. There's no PvP, it's all co-op, and basically you're speedrunning the game and fighting a boss at the end with teammates. Things going to be separated into 3 different in-game days, which lasts like 10 minutes or so, or 10 to 15 minutes. There's no character creator. Instead, you pick from a bunch of predetermined characters, kind of like heroes from like an Overwatch game. I'm not gonna lie to you, it kind of looks like that. It is what it is. When the day starts to end, the zone closes, kind of like a Fortnite circle. This blue flame starts to come and intensify, and it pushes you into the center type thing. At Graces, you don't sit at a Grace now, you can just stand by it. Automatic ways to level up your characters. No carry weight, there's no fall damage. You have 6 different weapon slots, and that's like pretty much it. You get passes from weapons that even if you're not using, bleed onto your character's stats. You got predetermined stats, so let's say the tanky character is going to be more tanky than the mage character, no matter how much HP you pump into the mage character. So it's kind of balanced in that way. At the end of an in-game day, you fight a boss, and in between days you chill at the round table and talk to other characters that you did not pick. Kind of reminds me of how at the beginning of Elden Ring you pick some predetermined role like a samurai or a prophet, but it's permanent. So basically you're something to hold us over while Miyazaki works on his next game. Miyazaki's not working on this. He's got somebody who worked on Dark Souls 1 and 3, the good ones, to work on this. So I think we're in good hands with the director of this game, and even if the game turns out to be a complete flop, I mean, the company will probably learn something from this.
The movement!
I mean, Dark Souls 2, I don't like that game, but it got power stances out of that game. I played Dark Souls 3, there's no power stances in that game, and it just feels wrong. So even if this game's not for you, I'm sure there's something that they can take away from this game that's going to help other games be better. So there's really a win-win situation from this game. People are calling this game a cash grab, but if they really want to make it a cash grab, wouldn't they just make it a live service? I mean, they said they're not going to make it a live service. I'm not going to sit here and say they wouldn't do that down the line, but they're not going to make it a live service. They want the experience to be a full package. And I don't know, man. I feel like if they wanted to make this a cash grab, They could have easily done it in a more egregious way. I don't feel like this is a cash grab. It's more of an experimental game. A sidetrack, a spin-off, while Miyazaki cooks in the corner. I know there are a lot of people who wonder why, if this was a spin-off, why does it take the Elden Ring name if it's not just to grab cash? But I would argue the reason they've done that is because, quite simply, it's to reuse assets. And people hate when companies reuse assets, but everybody does it for a reason. It just saves time. They got a unique multiplayer idea, and to waste energy and resources and time building everything from scratch again, when we would just get more hype to see Nameless King.
Is that the fucking Nameless King?
We would get way more hype for that than some new shit. This is FromSoft we're talking. The king of asset flips. Why would you spend time doing all that again when you could spend more time working on the actual product? Like, the reason they reuse assets is to save time and money. I mean, I'm pretty sure Miyazaki is working on his next big project. Why would they take resources away from that when they can take as little as possible while offering you a new product? And I'm telling you, if I'm playing this game and the moon presence just pops up at the end of my 10-minute session or whatever, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know about you. I think it's a cool excuse to bring back old bosses and enemies that we all know and love. Me personally, I view this game as a giant experiment, so there's nothing but a learning experience for the company. There's nothing they can do but learn from this. So even if this game was a massive flop, if you looked at the history of FromSoft, almost all of the things that they've learned from other games have come back in newer iterations. So anything they learn from this game can only build upon their skill set. And I will admit, I might be a little overly optimistic about this. I am biased. This is like my perfect game, guys, because I'm a jolly co-opper. Favorite types of games are like Souls games and Monster Hunter games when I'm not playing weeb trash. And I've just recently got into battle royales. I've avoided this trend for years, but I'm slowly started getting into like different types of multiplayer games. I started playing Rivals, and I've been playing other battle royales also. So this is like the perfect combination of everything I love. Me. So yeah, sucks for you guys. I know a lot of people want like Bloodborne 2 or Elden Ring 2 or Dark Souls 4 from the company, but I don't know. I've been replaying all the old Souls games like a lot of people who just couldn't let Shadow of the Erdtree go. I went back and beat Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls Remake. And one thing I learned through playing half of these games is that the formula is getting kind of old, guys. Let FromSoft step outside their comfort zone a little. We don't want to end up like the Call of Duty, NBA 2K people, okay? I'm personally happy that FromSoft is not afraid to take risks, but that's just me. Anyway, thanks for listening. How do you guys feel about this? You're perfectly fine to... I understand being skeptical, but guys, this is FromSoft. They've had like one flop in the history of their games. Well, ever since Demon Souls. I don't know what all that other shit they did before that, but guys, we're in good hands. Even if this game is only fun for like 100 hours. Did you honestly think we were getting more Elden Ring? I don't know why we can't be nothing but happy about this. That's all I really got. Peace.